everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I've decided that this month will indeed be Tim Burton month in order to celebrate the best holiday of the year, Halloween. I hope you all look forward to the future videos coming out this month, and in today's video, we're discussing the one, the only, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is a 1988 comedy horror fantasy film directed by Tim Burton and starring Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Jones, Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, as well as Michael Keaton in the titular role. The plot centers around a newly deceased couple who are terrorized by a family of humans, so decide to consult the help of a mischievous bioexorcist named Beetlejuice, with disastrous consequences. The film opens with some amazing opening credits with an aerial shot of the neighborhood this film will take place within. Once again, the opening theme is scored by the amazingly talented Danny Elfman. We are then introduced to our main characters, Adam and Barbara Maitland. Adam is shown with his model of the town, while they listen to Calypso, a staple throughout the film. They have just come back home from holiday, and live in a neat pastoral house, which Barbara's cousin, a real estate agent, relentlessly presses Barbara to sell, and it is implied that despite their best efforts, Barbara is infertile.
Barbara, this house is too big for you. It really ought to be for a couple with a family, you know? Oh, Pumpkin, I didn't mean anything. It's just that, really, this house is too big.
I'll see you in a few weeks.
The acting in this scene is very touching. The issue doesn't have to be explicitly stated. It is shown through simple dialogue and a few expressions, much like a real conversation. Adam and Barbara then head to the shops, and upon returning, they swerve their car into the river to avoid a dog wandering in their path. They return home, soaked, and remark about how cold they feel. Neither of them have any idea how they returned home, and when he tries to leave the house, Adam arrives on the planet Saturn, and when he is pulled back inside by Barbara, she tells him he has been gone for 2 hours. This and the following scene have some pretty cool practical effects, Barbara demonstrating that they do not have reflections, and showing Adam the book, Handbook for the Recently Deceased. The couple realize that they did not survive the car crash. Meanwhile, a nefarious figure is shown job hunting with a newspaper, and notes the Maitlands' wholesome yet naive appearance.
Ooh la la, what do we got here? The Maitlands, huh? Cute couple. Look nice and stupid, too.
We then get some sweet dialogue between the couple.
Why don't they tell us something? I mean, where are all the other dead people in the world? Why is it just you and me?
Maybe this is heaven.
And Barbara's cousin sells the Maitlands' house to the Dietz family. This includes the daughter, Lydia Dietz, a young goth who is brooding and sad, but is shown to be highly perceptive compared to her elders throughout the film. There's also her father, Charles, who works in real estate and tries to appease his daughter and wife. The final member is Delia, Lydia's stepmother, who is preoccupied with maintaining appearances and expressing herself through Memphis design, with the help of her friend and interior designer Otho. Delia plans on renovating the house, much to the Maitlands' despair, and they get the idea to frighten the Dietzes away. This doesn't work, however, despite how amazing the practical effects are, as the living just can't see them.
Yeah, ghosts of the people who died in this house. They want us out of here. So let's do them a favor.
Ironic. We get some more amazing, yet charmingly dated practical effects when the Maitlands get transported to Saturn again, accompanied by more of Danny Elfman's amazing score. The new design of the house is honestly terrible and very, very ugly. I know the 80s style was whack, but come on, what were they thinking? The Maitlands see an advertisement for a bioexorcist named Beetlejuice and decide to hide out in the attic. Instead, they consult the handbook again and discover where to go in order to get help for their human-sized issue, the afterlife. It turns out that the afterlife is run as a bureaucracy, with many, many different people waiting to be seen. On their way to see their caseworker, Adam and Barbara navigate their way through the afterlife, and I know I keep going on about it, but I really just love these effects. There's even a reference to the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. They discover that they will have to remain in their house for the next 125 years and discover the Room of Lost Souls.
Oh, Adam. What is this?
That's the Lost Souls room. A room for ghosts that have been exorcised. Poor devils. That's death for the dead.
Juno, the Maitland's caseworker, tells them that they have to scare the Dietzes out of the house themselves and warns them about Beetlejuice.
He was my assistant, but he was a troublemaker. He went out on his own as a freelance bioexorcist. Claimed he could get rid of the living. He got into more trouble.
The Maitlands try to scare the Dietzes with, get this, sheets with holes cut out of them, and Lydia catches them, initially thinking that they're her parents.
Aren't you scared?
I'm not scared of sheets. Are you gross under there? Are you Night of the Living Dead under there? Like all bloody veins and pus?
Night of the what?
Living Dead, it's a movie.
Honestly, same. Barbara summons Beetlejuice, and they are transported inside the model. This introduction scene honestly just says everything you need to know about this guy. He's a dickhead.
What are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it!
I like how Michael Keaton goes into his natural speaking voice at the beginning of that first line. Getting creeped out by his behaviour, they decide to ditch Beetlejuice. At a dinner party with the Dietzes and their associates, the Maitlands possess the Dietzes and their guests in another attempt to frighten them away, but this backfires as the guests only seem amused by this incident and plan on using it as a money-making scheme. Otho discovers the handbook, and Beetlejuice turns into a snake and attacks the living until the Maitlands trap him. Thinking the snake was the Dietzes, Lydia falls into despair and begins writing a suicide note, planning on jumping off the same bridge where the Maitlands met their demise. While managing a recently deceased football team, Juno calls the Maitlands and scolds them for their irresponsibility. She tries to make sure the Maitlands do a good job this time, and we get these freaky effects. Beetlejuice tells Lydia that the Maitlands have deserted their home, and by proxy her, and delivers one of the spookiest yet cheesiest pickup lines I've ever heard in a film before.
Are you a ghost too?
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
He tries to trick her into releasing him, but Lydia becomes suspicious and the Maitlands arrive to stop her before it's too late. The Dietzes then hold a seance with Otho's help to demonstrate the ghost to Charles's former employer and his wife, and they begin to decay and disappear, and the seance turns out to be an exorcism. Desperate to save the Maitlands before it's too late, Lydia summons Beetlejuice and he agrees to help her if she marries him.
It's showtime.
Beetlejuice terrorizes the guests and gets them to leave, before summoning a demonic little minister in order to go through with the wedding. He tries and fails to stop the Maitlands' attempts to end the ceremony, Barbara riding the sandworm from Saturn into the house, and it devours Beetlejuice. The Dietzes and Maitlands agree to live together, and Lydia dances to Jump in the Line by Harry Belafonte, Lydia floating up to the ceiling in one of the film's most iconic scenes. In the waiting room from the afterlife, Beetlejuice tricks a witch doctor into giving him his number so he doesn't have to wait in line, which the witch doctor does not take kindly to.
I have. Yeah, they've been after me for months. Doing some kind of underwear deal. I don't know what. Whoa, hey, what are you doing? Hey, stop it! Hey, you're messing up here! Come on! Whoa! Whoa! Stop it! Whoa!
This is one of my most favourite films, although I didn't watch it as many times as I would have liked to as a child. But what can I say, it's a classic film. It has many accolades, including an Oscar, and I must say that it is deserving of such. It also received an animated television adaptation surrounding Lydia and Beetlejuice that ran from 1989 to 1991, and a 2018 musical Broadway adaptation. When is that sequel coming out though, Tim Burton? Come on, we're all waiting! I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching.
私は魔女境滞在司教怠惰担当ベテルギウス・ロマネ・コンティ